Sasha Callie was cast as Supergirl in the Flash movie. And she's finally coming out speaking about her negative experiences from being replaced by Millie Alcock as Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl. She said she's frustrated, she's disappointed, she tried her best, and in the future she'll only work with people who want to work with her. That's all wonderful and everything, and I'm not saying she was a bad Supergirl. She did a good job. She had a very limiting screen time on the Flash movie. They cut a lot of her work from that movie because I saw a better, superior cut of that movie. And as we spoke about the other day, as well as ruining Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, James Gunn ruined the Flash movie as well. We now know that. I'm not speaking out of school. These are facts. So she's frustrated. She was brought in to replace Henry Cavill's Superman. Her Supergirl was going to be the only representative of the House of El in the DCEU moving forward. So what Millie Alcock and James Gunn have done to her, she did to Henry Cavill. I don't remember her having any sympathy for Henry Cavill. She said some nice things about him during the marketing of the Flash movie. Henry was obviously forced to say some nice things. He's a gentleman. What else is he going to say? Apparently he called her up. Imagine, he called up someone that replaced him, took his job. That's the kind of a guy that Henry Cavill is. Amy Adams is spot on. He absolutely is Clark Kent. He absolutely is Superman. He's a damn gentleman, and we're going to miss Henry as Superman going forward. So I absolutely have no sympathy with Sasha Callie here. And it's interesting that she's finally speaking out. She must be promoting a new project because this is the only time they speak out. I don't have any problem with Sasha Callie. I was very excited when she was introduced on Andrew Machete's Instagram as Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl. I thought this is wholesome, this is joyous. She seems like a lovely girl. I'm happy for her. I was stupid and naive at the time, enough to think that she was going to stand on screen alongside her Kryptonian cousin, Henry Cavill, aka Clark Kent, aka Kal-El, the last son of Krypton, aka Superman, because that's what we all wanted, right? But then we realised she was going to be Henry's replacement. As I say, as the representative, the only representative of the House of El in the DCEU. They had the same plan for Batgirl. Leslie Grace was cast as Batgirl. Moving forward, she would be the only representative of the Bat family in the DCEU. Again, this was a Walter Hamada decision. You know what I mean? Go woke, go broke. So the idea was that Michael Keaton's Batman would train her up, like in the comics in Batman Beyond, when Batman trains up that Roy geezer, right? And you know when you hear rumours of a Batman Beyond movie, basically it would have been with Grace's, basically Leslie Grace's Batgirl. Now I've seen Batgirl. It's actually quite a solid movie. I don't know why they shelved it, but at the end of the day, right, this was the plan. So I have no sympathy really. I mean, look, I feel bad for Leslie Grace and the people who made Batgirl for the way they were treated. But at the end of the day, you replaced Ben Affleck, right? And they were going to kill off Michael Keaton's Batman after, Leslie Grace's Batgirl was trained. So they were replacing men with women. Batgirl should be standing by the side of Batman and the Bat family. Supergirl, Kara Zor-El, should be standing by Superman's side. They're cousins. They're fellow heroes that in the comics and in other media have stood together. Even in a pre-Superman story, we had Clark Kent and Kara Zor-El in Smallville standing together, and Clark trying to teach her the right things, and Clark, trying to learn from her. She was trying to teach him how to fly and stuff. That was wonderful. That was beautiful. So sorry, Sasha Callie, if you expect me to have any sympathy for you after you replace Superman, I'm sorry. What's happened to you here is what you did to Henry Cavill. Now, you didn't want to replace him. You took a job. I get that. You didn't do anything toxic or wrong, but I have little sympathy for you and your situation. Now, I actually enjoyed what she did in the Flash movie. She was one of the few shining lights of that movie, because what James Gunn did to that movie was terrible, and it kind of frightens you to think what the DCU is going to be like, although I'm willing, as I've already said, to give it a chance. Like this Millie Alcock casting. I'll criticise James Gunn when I feel he deserves to be criticised. I'll praise James Gunn when he deserves to be praised. And at the end of the day, Millie Alcock is a critically acclaimed actor. She's comic book accurate. She's perfect for, is it Tom King's comic book adaptation of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow? And I'm very excited for her casting. David Corenswet is a great young actor. Well, I don't know if you want to call him young, at 30, 31 years old. He hasn't been in many films. He's done some streaming stuff. So that's interesting. But at the end of the day, I think Superman is good, solid casting. And I think that Supergirl is good, solid casting. I expected her to be replaced, like I expect Gal Gadot to be replaced as, Wonder Woman going forward. Everything I've predicted has come to pass. It's not rocket science. It doesn't mean, I'm Nostradamus or anything. It was pretty obvious that Sasha Callie wasn't going to remain in the role of Supergirl. I'm happy with Millie Alcock's casting. I think she said some dumb crap in public. She's very anti-male and stuff like that. There was rumours of a fallout with another actor on Game of Thrones show, House of Dragons, and she blamed men and all that crap. So I can forgive her for that. I don't care, as long as she's a great Supergirl. Always remember, just because someone's talented and they entertain you doesn't make them right. Just because you don't agree with someone's opinions, it doesn't mean they're not a great actor. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy them in the realms of entertainment. Don't be like some of these idiots who all of a sudden, if they support Trump and an actor comes out and says something negative about Trump, they don't want to watch their stuff anymore. And they say dumb shit about them. No. If someone entertains me, someone's talented, that's fine by me. If you're on your own platform and you have an opinion, that's your right, and I don't care. So at the end of the day, I'm excited about Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. I think it's going to be an interesting film. I think it's an interesting graphic novel, and I think Millie was perfect casting. And Sasha Callie, that's showbiz. I don't think WB or Gunn have done anything toxic here. Gunn didn't want Sasha Callie as Supergirl. He didn't think she was the right fit. Andres Muschietti cast her, and Gunn felt she wasn't the right casting. There's some things he's going to use from the old DCEU, mostly the stuff that he put in place within his Suicide Squad movie and his Peacemaker streaming show, and that's fair enough. He doesn't want to bin the stuff that he created, and I understand that, and that's fine as well. As I say, I will criticise Gunn when he needs to be criticised as a DC fan, and I will credit him. And the casting of Millie Alcock is top drawer. The casting of the director of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is top drawer. Now, if we move on from Sasha Callie and Supergirl, there's lots of new information about lanterns. They've announced, first of all, there's going to be a Native American woman in the show. There's nothing wrong with that, but apparently she's going to be the only woman of colour in this town where, the lanterns are at. Have you ever lived in a town where there's only one woman of colour? But this is what happens when you involve people like Damon Lindelof. Now, Damon Lindelof did a great job on Lost, but his Watchmen series was very, very well. Let's not get into it. I didn't like it. And you're going to get the same kind of mentality on this show. So I have mixed feelings right now about Lantern. I'm not so sure this is going to be great, because I mean, like any Green Lantern fan, like any DC fan, you wanted to see the Green Lantern Corps in an epic DC movie. As I said the other day, James Wan would have directed the hell of that type of movie, but they drove James Wan away, and they don't even have the money to make an epic Green Lantern movie directed by a brilliant director like James Wan. So they're doing this series because it's cheap. We really don't know what this series is going to be. We know it's going to be a detective show. It's going to be an investigation show. It's going to be like a grounded, true detective show. But let's not forget, there's no bigger fantastical characters in the DC universe than the Green Lantern Corps. So this could end up being disappointing. You can get away with it with the Penguin, as I've already said many times, because that's a grounded character from a a grounded DC universe, the Batman universe, but this is a very, very different situation, and we'll see what we get maybe next year, when if it's coming, or the year after.